Hey everybody, you're sitting down with Wollaston Real Estate Investments. I'm Alex. I have a special guest with us today on behalf of the Wollaston Wealth Management Fund. If you're interested in learning about passive investment opportunities inside our real estate portfolio, inside the Wollaston Wealth Management Fund, then please hit us up, send us an email or a comment. If you've got our cell phones, feel free to reach out. alex@wollastonrei.com. Without further ado, who's this handsome devil?
I'm Harrison Bonner. Happy to be here for the first time on Some Assembly Required.
My man.
I guess my role at Wollaston Real Estate Investments in our company is
Partner.
partner, director of operations, most handsome devil alive. Yeah, there's a number of things they call me.
Look at that.
Just kidding. I stole that from Alex. That's usually his.
I'm no longer the devil. I passed it off.
But yeah, I generally handle things like day-to-day operations, construction management. I'm our licensed construction supervisor. So, do all of our construction management, design development on any development projects. We've been self-managing all of our construction for I think 7 or 8 years now.
I think we started overseeing our own construction officially, I think in 2017 because we had to.
But then I got licensed in 2018.
Yeah, that's right.
So manage our maintenance and some of our property management employees, and really all things on the ground. And you can catch me once a week for my financial opinions.
There it is.
And you probably see some of my blogs that go out if you're on our email list. If you're not, we'd love to get you on there.
Some of those are great, like the consequences of central banking in real estate.
Austrian Economics 101.
I mean, honestly, I read that and I'm like, this guy should be writing the blogs and not me. He sounds very intelligent. Yeah, that's awesome. So welcome, glad to have you. I think normally we're gonna work to have these vlog video podcasts, if you will, together. Obviously, they're more enjoyable, at least for me, to do them in a group. So if you haven't checked out the last episode from last week, we talked about our single source of truth, our new website, as well as our internally created property management ecosystem, which are going to be very, very powerful tools. And we filmed last week's episode at about 8:45, and we finished the video and the web podcast or the website at about 4:45 a.m. the following morning. So if you didn't get that email update approximately 11 a.m. on Thursday, hit me up. We'll make sure you get it. But so today we're going to kind of talk about some of the additional pieces of content work that we're doing to kind of add to that momentum. As on the first video we talked about, on the first video of Some Assembly Required, we talked about how we're creating the private equity offering inside the Wollaston Wealth Management Fund to grow as a company and achieve some of our goals. The website was a massive, massive overhaul for us to get through, and so happy that part is done, and we'll continue to build on it. But now let's talk about some of the additional pieces of content and areas of work that we're going to be putting in.
Yeah, we sat down a little earlier and we kind of storyboarded and brainstormed a bunch of different ways that we want to continue to grow our exposure, grow our brand, get in front of more people.
A plan of plans.
Plan of plans, yes. So we planned time for planning. Now's the time for action. But with that, we kind of got to the end. I'm like, okay, well, what are steps? This is a lot going on. What are steps 1, 2, and 3?
We're a boutique company.
Yep. There's only so many people. There's only so many hours in the day, right? So what are the first simple actionable items that we can take that are going to move the needle the furthest, the fastest? And we landed on our webinar series that we're going to launch
starting next week. First one is on Thursday.
Thursday, I don't know the date. I threw my phone out.
I didn't.
24th?
Yep.
Thursday the 24th. Okay.
Bam.
Thursday the 24th, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
This is going to be our first webinar on sort of like a private equity masterclass. It's going to be a lot of educational content around what private equity is, alternative investments, the power of them, sort of your alternatives to your traditional like stock and bond portfolio, just other investment alternatives that passive investors can take advantage of.
Specifically through real estate. This would be real estate private equity, not just regular private equity.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, that's what we do. So that's where sort of our expertise in that is.
Right.
So we're going to be getting, we're working on ad campaigns for it to draw in new subscribers and get new eyes on us each week.
Yep.
And we're going to be hosting these recurring webinars each week where we continue to put our masterclass out there and continue to spread educational awareness around private equity, specifically in real estate, and what that can do for private investors. So we think it's going to be really valuable content, whether someone's interested in investing in our fund or not. We think it's going to be really valuable content that people can take something away from each time and apply it into their own investment strategies.
And think about it. A lot of people that have worked with us in our first 9 years, like they weren't necessarily ready that day, but they saw it. It's kind of like, at the end of the day, it's kind of like fishing. You got to like put your lure in and like see what nibbles. And it's best to create vehicles where they can come to you. It's important to actively prospect and go out, but having a nice top of funnel to where if people are interested and they want to stay on with you and get educated for a period of time, and then, a lot of investing really, I think, comes down to timing. It's like, does opportunity meet the availability of capital, and can you then blend those two for success?
Exactly.
Magic.
Exactly. It's like how I buy pants,
A little bit of luck. How to invest or buy pants with a little bit of luck.
Truly. I mean, I just try to think about, if you're trying to craft a marketing funnel or get people to buy or subscribe to a product, I try to think about it in terms of, okay, what am I a consumer of? Like, for example, I use pants because I just bought new pants.
Nice.
And
really good fit.
They do fit really good. RevTown, great jeans.
Oh, God.
Not a sponsor.
Not a pay, but you could pay. You could pay us.
RevTown, I am open for sponsorships.
Jeez.
Great jeans. But yeah, I had them kind of in my queue, right? I was on their list. I would see their ads. And then my birthday came around, and my dad was like, "What do you want for birthday?" I was like, "Dad, I want new jeans."
I love it. Dad, I want a $50,000 minimum one subscription unit to the Wollaston Wealth Management Fund.
I think he's already an investor, whether he wants to be or not. But that's how I like to think about like framing or putting yourself sort of on the other side of the aisle to figure out how to craft then what your offer is.
Right.
Which is how we came up with the private equity masterclass and using that as an educational vehicle. The second one is to think about, okay, well, what do we do on a day-to-day basis? Like, what are we experts in?
So like the first one, private equity, real estate, is kind of like general, how do you make money in real estate? And then the second one is our second webinar. So 2 per week, one on private equity, real estate, the other one focusing on us as operators, right?
Correct.
Truly how you're creating the value for the investors, that's your operator.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yep. And from on a day-to-day basis, what do we do is, outside of like running an investment company, right? Like, what does the investment company do? Is we're property managers. Like,
right.
we're a really good property management company, which is why that'll eventually grow and take on more clients other than ourselves. But there's a lot that we don't know that other people don't know, if you know what I mean, and a lot of expertise and value and information that we can provide to people that are either interested in real estate or scared of property management, or maybe they already have a couple properties, but they've had bad property managers, or they don't know what they're doing on their own properties.
I think you meant to say there's a lot of things we know that other people don't know. And I think you said there's a lot of things we don't know that other people don't know. And now it sounds like the blind leading the blind. So just in case there was an error, we know a lot of things other people don't know.
Yes. I think I was trying to be like kind of humble.
That's fair.
And like not sounding like a know-it-all.
We're humble, but humble with $70 million worth of transaction history.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think now that the point has been cleared up. So.
Harrison's a smart guy. And, we were talking about, I was originally like, let's just talk about real estate private equity. Let's just talk about how people make their money. And he was like, yeah, but They really make their money because we don't suck at our job. That's really why. And I'm like, okay, well, you're right. Let's do a second webinar all about operations.
Rather than property management being like an 8% line item on a pro forma. And it's like, oh, we'll go hire a good property manager. Well, what does that mean? What do you need them to do? What is your, what makes a good property manager a good property manager?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that's those are going to be those are the biggest dominoes to fall down for us. After that, there will be a series of written blog content that's also distributed. If you're not getting the email updates with great written content from Harrison, make sure that you let us know so we can get you on the list.
I think I've got like 48 more topics to go.
There it is.
I already have the topics.
There it is. There it is. And then we're going to be launching a podcast, which I think is really awesome. We've always wanted to do a podcast, didn't really know how to make it feel right. But if
not like every other podcast.
Or not like every other podcast that just fizzles out with the same type of people over and over again. But, I think...
cuss on our podcast?
I don't know. Jury's still out on it. We'll see how much money we've raised. Right now the fund's hit its first 500,000, which is awesome. Harrison and I have super big, grand ambitions, and the first 500 is the hardest. The first 500 is the hardest. Then the second 500 is a little less hard, I imagine. And then everything after that, with traction, you pick up some steam, like everything else in life. But that's a big milestone for us. Congratulations. So anyway, first 500's in, and if you've went to the website, you might have thought to yourself, like, a lot of these videos, they could stream really well together. And I thought to myself, why don't we just put all of these little videos as like audio segments that people can just, binge back to back, like the power of alternative investments on our website. There's like 5 videos for that topic, but why can't you just binge watch them in your car? They're great to listen to. So that was kind of what birthed the idea of the podcast. And then from there, we can have different folders of different levels of content, people that we want to talk to, experts in the field. So the podcast will be, I guess, cameraman, I didn't ask you. When can we get the podcast out? Can we get it uploaded online next week?
Probably.
Beautiful. Awesome. So we're going to have our first webinar and our podcast channel up next week. And if you are interested, if you've got some real estate experience, if you got some private equity, investment banking experience, property management experience, hit us up. We'd love to have a conversation with you because I think this podcast is going to be a phenomenal way to network inside our community, create value to our listener base, but also to their listener base, learn things from them. We've got some friends in our network that, we're a couple rungs down the ladder from where they are. They're doing awesome things that we want to do. And so yeah, learning, continuing to learn, remaining humble, like my friend Harrison here said, and ultimately just one foot in front of the other to get to where you want to go. So yeah, anything else?
No, I think that sounds pretty good. I'm excited to get it going. And, I'm really going to push for cussing on the podcast.
He's going to push for cursing on the podcast. So yeah, absolutely. Wollaston Wealth Management Fund, 8% preferred rate of return, targeting a 20% plus internal rate of return. Every project that we are looking to acquire for our LPs should achieve a 2 to 3x equity multiple. Now, this offering is only available to accredited investors, but regardless of whether you're accredited or not, if you'd like to have a conversation about real estate investing, then we would love to have a conversation with you. And without further ado, Harrison, sign us out.
If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. You can even get notified of new videos on YouTube.
That's right.
And thanks for checking us out. We'll see you next week.
Peace, love, share with your mother, brother, father. Bye.